Right then, Taco Tuesday. All right, got my stuff all ready for work. Yep. They got me down in South or in Central again today. I don't know what's going on. Self-proclaimed as hurt. Um, so I don't know if that's still going on or what's happening, but yeah. I might just out of curiosity contact the scheduling girl and ask her what's going on. And if DTR is up poking around in my area. I'll know today when I go in. We had a transfer truck come in yesterday. And all my parts will be in the shop. And if I see a pile of parts there that I don't recognize that I didn't order, then I'll know something's up. But it could also be for calls down in Central that aren't mine. Who knows? But it's interesting, that's for sure. Nothing too hard. Today I got to put out a couple of door gaskets on a fridge, and the other two, I got 3 calls, and the other 2 are diagnostics. Yesterday worked out good being down in Central. It was a good day. I ended up having 3 calls. I started off with 2, but there was an add-on for one of the salesmen up in the store that I work out of. His freezer went down, so I had to go out and diagnose that. That's his freezer, the compressor locked up. That's going to need a compressor job. Got a message from Self-Proclaimed yesterday on Teams, on the Teams app, with a picture of 4 oxygen tanks, asking if I could use those for my torch. I'm like, hell yeah. So he's sending those up to me, and I don't actually need them for the work torch, but I can use them for my own personal micro torch out in the shop. Yeah, they're extras that were donated by somebody in the organization for some reason. I don't know. Some guy named Jesse. No idea the backstory. But the same torch I use for working on refrigerators at work here, I also have in my own personal shop. So it's a beautiful little torch for heating up stuck fasteners and bolts and stuff real fast. It's a micro cutting torch. So yeah, those little oxygen cylinders cost about $6 a piece or something like that. So yeah, I'll put it into the Sanford and Son inventory. But anyway, speaking of the shop, back to the story. I was down in Central yesterday, and I ended up just a couple blocks away from a Harbor Freight store, and my big 3-ton floor jack that I use out in the shop to lift up vehicles, that failed, and I can't figure out a way to fix it. Normally I'm good at that, but I can't figure out a way to fix it, so it's got to go away, and I needed another one. So I just happened to go into Harbor Freight because I was right there, and I'm part of the, I forgot what it's called. There's a special club that you can pay $30 a year. Inside Track Club, it's called. And you can pay $30 a year, and then you get radical discounts on products, certain products that are on sale at Harbor Freight for Inside Track Club members. Yeah. It's kind of like joining Amazon Prime. You pay a fee and you get free shipping and you get next day arrival. You know, you get some perks for your money. Well, I pulled the trigger at Harbor Freight Tools because I buy a lot of tools from there. And yesterday it paid off big. Last year I was thinking, when they asked me to renew the membership, I was like, you know what? I don't really recall ever having taken advantage of that. I don't get to the store often. I don't need a lot of tools on a regular basis. I'm not breaking tools all the time or anything. I haven't been working in a shop in a couple of years now because I haven't had one. So I'm not breaking things that I need to replace. So as a result, the $30 a year for the Inside Track Club membership, I was thinking, you know, I don't even think that paid for itself. Yesterday it did. Big time. So this floor jack. Floor jacks aren't cheap. A couple $100, $300 for a floor jack. And they're used to jack, in case you don't know. It's a big, long item, heavy, 3-ton lifting capacity. It's used to jack up a car. So you can change the tires, or you can put jack stands under it, and you can work underneath, you know. For a guy like me, it's a critical tool in my shop. Well, those things are expensive. The one I've had for 15, 20 years, and it finally gave up the ghost. So I went in there, since I was right there, I thought, I need a floor jack now, because I was doing the tire change, taking the mud tires off the Jeep, putting the snows on. I need a floor jack to do this. So I popped in there, and they had a 3-ton Pittsburgh brand heavy-duty steel floor jack, normally $300 and some, Inside Track Club on sale. I got 70% off. Paid like $105 for this thing. Wow. Ka-ching. Paid for itself right there. So I picked that up. And then, since I was down in Central and I'm coming back, home base is up here in the Pickers, I had to literally drive right by the lake house here to get back to the shop. So I stopped in here, had it in the van, dropped it off. It worked out great. I got home from work last night, turned on the furnace in the shop, and drove the Jeep in there and changed my mud tires over to my snow tires. I had that done in about 30 minutes. That floor jack worked great. And I got a method to my madness. I've done this every year now on all my vehicles. I always have an extra set of rims with snow tires on them. And as late in the year as I can get away with before the weather turns to shit, that's when I switch over to the snows. And we got a snowstorm coming in tomorrow afternoon, overnight. Could leave upwards of 3 inches of slushy, wet snow. So the timing was perfect. Yeah. So I went out in the shop right away when I got home last night. I didn't procrastinate like I usually do, and I got that done. The mud tires are now out in the side yard off the shop, stacked up nice and neat, covered up with a tire cover. All is well. Yeah. Snows are on for the year, for the winter. I even had enough time left over before it got dark. I went out and played on the track for a little bit with the truck, Scrunchy's truck. I got my own truck coming. I pulled the trigger yesterday, and I bought Rob's Christmas present, and I bought myself a present. Oops. Well, fortunately, these little trucks are cheap compared to what I normally spend for an RC vehicle, which is upwards of $300-400. $150 for a remote control hobby grade, not a Walmart toy, but a hobby grade vehicle that's ready to run. It's got the battery, it's got the transmitter, it's got everything you need to run it right out of the box. It's a good deal. So I bought Rob one of those trucks, a short course race truck, not like what Scrunchy has. And I bought myself one as well. 2 different colors so that we can differentiate between the trucks when they're on the track. But it's funny because I was talking to Rob last night. I didn't hear from him all day long. And Scrunch and I were commiserating as to why. And she's like, well, everything's going good with Kate, so he doesn't have a need for you anymore. He's not going to talk to you. He's just using you as a sounding board for his problems, and when the times are good, he doesn't talk. So that's what we thought was going on. No, we were wrong. What actually was happening was he was sleeping. Yeah, he shut her down and was actually sleeping during the day. I couldn't do what he does. Weird ass schedules. Like now, he drove all through the night, and now he's sitting in a truck stop, and he just shut her down about an hour ago, and he's going to crash for the day. Or for 4 hours or so, and then wake up and get back at it. I couldn't live like that, man. He's a better man than I am. But anyway, so we were talking last night, and we got on the subject of RC trucks, and he goes, yeah, now that I'm on my own and I got my own place and I'm saving tons of money, which he is, because he's not having to pay a $1,800 mortgage payment, which is half of the cost of their house. He's only paying like $700 or $800 rent. He's saving money. He says, yeah, I'm going to buy myself a Christmas present. I'm going to buy an RC truck. Either I'm going to get a Traxxas Slash, which is a race truck, kind of like what I got him, but I got him an 18th scale for out here. Or I'm going to get a remote control crawler truck for trail crawling. I'm like, well, I think you should get the scaled crawler truck. Don't get the Slash, get the scaled crawler truck. I think you'll use that more and you'll have more fun with that. You can take it with you in the truck, on the big truck when you're driving. And if you're laid over somewhere and you see a nice rock pile next to the cab, you can just get your toy out and go crawling on the rocks. He goes, yeah, I think so. I was saying that because I bought him a race truck. Yeah, he doesn't need a Slash. He's got a Latrax Mini 18th scale race truck. So he'll have his race truck. It'll just be smaller. So we talked about RC for a while, but of course we talked about Kate. you know. And same old thing, you know. She's on the fence. She doesn't know if she wants to fix this, if she doesn't want to fix this. She's showing signs that she doesn't want him out of her life. She even told him, I don't want you out of my life. But I think what she wants is what a lot of these narcissists and fatalists do, is they enter into a full throttle relationship and they get bored with it and they fatalize the relationship and they kick you out, but they want to keep you as a friend in the background. Yep. Ideally, like what I had with the diva. Not anymore, but back in the day when she was breaking up with me every 2 weeks and then running off and getting her itches scratched with another guy and then coming back to me and shit like this. Two-timing, basically. They want to keep you around for a different flavor. Yeah. They're getting one thing from one person and they're getting something else from the other. A totally different situation. And they like to keep all these flying monkeys wrapped in silk in their webs, in the corner of their web. And, I think today I'm in the mood for nasty hardcore porn sex. So let's get a hold of Kenny. Oh, now I'm in the mood for romantic, roses on the bed, Hallmark moment bullshit. Let's get a hold of Trucker Boy. You know what I mean? And they pick and choose the flavor of the month. And they have a tryst with them for a weekend, or in my case, it was a week. And then it's... So, that's how Kate is. You know, she's friends with all of her exes. She's in contact with them. She's got them in the wings. Yeah. Straight up bullshit. You're being used, you know. So, I'm thinking that's what Kate's doing by her statement. Well, I want you in my life, what she says to Rob. And I think that's why. She doesn't want to be in a full throttle relationship with him anymore. But she wants him in her life in regards to how he can augment her life or contribute to it. Yeah. Rob said he still thinks she had the idea that he was going to agree to being roommates, not married anymore, roommates with benefits, just so that he would keep continuing to pay half the mortgage and she could keep the palace, the big house in the swamp. And he straight up told her no. Now, he's been banished from family Thanksgiving. Yep. This gets me so pissed. So the daughter, the spoiled brat that caused all these problems and has caused problems for Kate's relationships ever since Kate's had relationships, has a boyfriend that she's had for a couple of, maybe a year. Her relationships don't last long. She's a clone of her mother, and she gets bored easily and fatalizes and kicks the guy to the curb. Yeah. But this particular relationship she is in now is hot and heavy, and this individual, the guy, has been invited to family Thanksgiving down at Kate's mom's down in southern Wisconsin. But this guy and Rob are who had the falling out. The problem was over him. And now the daughter and this guy don't like Rob. And they don't want him at family Thanksgiving. And they said they won't go if he goes. So what does Kate do? trying to be popular mommy. She caters to what her daughter and the guy want versus what Rob wants. Now, Kate's mom, that's where Thanksgiving's being hosted, wants Rob there. Yeah, he's the husband. She likes him. She's playing on Team Robbie, Kate's mom. Yeah. So it was informed to mom that Rob is not allowed to come down based on Kate's decree, based on the wishes of some 23-year-old wet behind the ears punk losers, the daughter and the daughter's boyfriend. Kate's in for a shitstorm. Rob says her mom is going to lay into her pretty good. And he's thinking that maybe Friday, they're having their Thanksgiving on Saturday, I think. He's going to get a phone call saying, come down, you're invited, after all. And the daughter and the boyfriend can just suck it up, Nancy. And they don't call the shots. The boyfriend's not family. He's just a boyfriend. He's an expendable tool. Like they all have been. Uh-huh. He just doesn't realize it. He hasn't seen it yet. He's expendable. Yep. Who are they to call the shots as to who can come to Thanksgiving and who can't? Right? So, Rob's giving in to Kate's demands. See, this is where I got a problem with Rob. He's placating Kate. Whatever Kate wants or decrees, he follows it. So this moving out of his own house and getting an apartment because Kate doesn't want him there, but then she says she does, and then she says she doesn't. And now this, you can't come to Thanksgiving. You're not allowed to come to Thanksgiving. Kate's decree. Because Kate is wanting to take the side of the daughter and the daughter's boyfriend over Rob. Kate has her daughter and the boyfriend's six as their back, but not her husband's. Straight up bullshit. It even says in the Bible, when you get married, your husband is your number one priority. Everybody else becomes secondary. Yep. That's in the Bible. Not in those terms, but, other flowery terms, but that's what it says. So, Kate, of course, is worshiping Satan in a roundabout way, so she doesn't adhere to God's rules. So, yeah, she does not have her husband's back. And Rob called her out on that. So Kate has as her social media status as separated. So in Kate's mind, she's divorced without the process of divorce. She wants her cake and she wants to eat it too. She wants to be single, not obligated to Rob, but she doesn't want to go through the bullshit of an actual divorce. And she doesn't want to lose the empire that Rob has helped her achieve, all the things on her checklist that she wanted to have before she died. Rob helped her get that. Nobody else could. And she don't want to lose that. But yet she wants to be footloose and fancy free and not tied down by the constraints of marriage, as she sees it. It's ludicrous. This one's just about done, which is fine because I got to get out the door here. The old shit alarm went off already. So Rob's not going to Thanksgiving as of right now, but the thing that pisses me off is he's giving in to all of her decrees in an attempt to save my marriage. I'll tell you what, if it was me, the new me, not the old me. The old me when I was with the diva, I can't really boast or brag or anything about how I'm a Sigma male and all this other shit. That's how I am now. I've been conditioned to be that way based on the hell I went through both with Kate years ago and the diva. Yep. Yep. The diva succubus mongoose, who's a fatalistic, narcissistic, well, you know the list of faults. That totally revolutionized my outlook on relationships. When I was with those two people, I was a simp. I was like a yes dear, and I was just like Rob. I was scrambling. I thought it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I thought I had my trophy wife, future trophy wife, and I was desperate to not lose it. So I was simping. I was being a simpleton and just groveling and begging and pleading to keep it. And holy oh shit. Now that I've been outside the box looking in at both of these individuals, I dodged a bullet. Oh wow. My guardian angel literally grabbed me by the back of the neck and just shoved me out of the way. Big time. But, so my new stance is, this is my house. F you. I'm staying here. I'm living here. You're going to see me in the effing kitchen. And if you don't like it, go hide in a corner. Be the lion of your empire and your domain. Yep. But Rob is like, okay, I'll go. I'll get an apartment. Okay, I won't go to Thanksgiving. Does that make you happy? Yeah. Can we save the marriage now? I'm doing things your way. Now, he won't admit it because he's a tough guy biker dude. But that's how I see it. And that's actually how it is. So, I'm trying to make him aware of it. And of course, he gets defensive and he gets aggressive and no, Ken, that's not what I'm doing. Blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, when he's curled up in the sleeper cab of his truck and he's pontificating on things, he knows I'm right. So if it would have been me, I would have said to Kate when she said, no, the daughter and her boyfriend don't want you, I would have said, F you. I'm going. Your mom wants me there. Yeah, I'm going. You effers can just sit and stew. So he said, if she does this shit at Christmas, because they go down to mom's for Christmas too. If she does this again at Christmas, he's done. He's been saying he's done like every other Wednesday. But that'll be the final straw. And he will pull the trigger on the divorce. Yep. Because it just shows that she has no respect for him. She's not putting him number one. She's not trying to fix the relationship. She's more intent on pleasing her daughter and her daughter's friends, being the cool mom, than she is taking care of her husband. She doesn't have any respect for marriage. Yep. None whatsoever. She has no concept of what marriage is, and she has no respect for it. Yeah. So, all right. Time to get into work. I parked the Jeep in the garage last night, so that's kind of cool. That's a first. So we're gonna go into work and get this day over with. Shouldn't be too bad. And yeah, one day closer to vacation. Yep, I took Thursday, Friday off, so I'll have a 4-day Thanksgiving stretch off. I think I'm gonna start on the shop. Yeah. We'll run the power cable from the main panel here in the house. We'll run that out of the house. I'll dig a trench over to the shop while the ground is not frozen, and stub the power into the garage, and maybe buy the sub panel and get that all hooked up as well. So that's the plan for the vacation. If that goes smoothly, I might start running wires in the walls and putting up outlet boxes and getting that phase of it done as well. So yeah, all right, stick around.